So this is the goat pen here at Heart's Quest. This is a temporary setup until we have our little barn going. So these livestock panels are on loan from Judy over at Babylon Farm. She's a friend of mine in Tacoma. And these panels, these livestock panels here, were a flippin' lifesaver. This pen has stayed really secure for the goats, which has been great not only for them but also for us because they know how to use the dog door. So that was not fun for a while there. So there's an old stump in here from a vine maple, and so we haven't dug that out at all. This is just from the goats moving around it and the chickens scratching around it, and a lot of the roots are exposed, so that'll make it a lot easier to pull that out when we're ready for it. This is an old chunk of roofing from a hay box that my husband had built, and the goats love playing King of the Mountain on this, and it's great because the shingle material helps to wear their hooves down a little bit too. Their trough here is never quite pristine, but I empty it and scrub it out on a regular basis for them. It's one of those plastic barrels that my husband cut in half and built a frame for, and he put a spigot on it so that when this front livestock panel, this livestock gate basically, is closed, then the chickens and the dogs can access this large water bowl here, and when it gets low, let me just turn that, and they can use water from the goat trough, and then I can fill their trough up as needed until it needs to be scrubbed out, emptied out and scrubbed out again. I put hay in here on a regular basis for them, so they have a nice, thick, soft bed. It's a little bit funky right now because we've had some heavy rain, and the goats are due for another layer of hay, or straw, pardon me. And then this is their hay feeder. So we just took some wide mesh wire, which isn't ideal, but it's certainly functional, and put it in here both on the ends and also in a V, which you can kind of see from the video here. So all I do is I lift up this lid, dump the hay in there, pop the lid back down nice and snug, and then the hay that they waste, I mean, it's still good quality Timothy, it's not wet, there's nothing wrong with it. This is just what they've picked around. So usually what I do with this leftover hay is I'll scoop it up when it starts getting full like this, and I'll take it in and I'll distribute it among the rabbits to munch on because they love this stuff. You can see there's still a little bit of grain left in the bottom here, because all I do when I feed them their bucket of mixed pellets and grains each morning and evening is I just bring it over here and I dump it right on top in this lower section, and then they hunt for it. So they munch on that throughout the day. And put the cinder blocks up underneath. You can see they pushed that one out. So far I think that's the only one they've pushed out though. But that keeps them from wriggling their way out underneath the livestock panels. And like I said, this pen has been a lifesaver. It's really worked effectively for us. It's been a huge help with keeping the goats contained and giving the goats their own place to be and be secure and safe and not be getting in trouble by having access to the house. So for the entry of the gate, this is like redneck ingenuity going on here. So the livestock panel, when I have the goats in here, I'll swing it closed, drop it down back behind that cinder block so it works like a doorstop. And then this other block that I have sticking out here, this is so that when I open the gate, oops, jostled that out of line. Anyway, when I pull this open, it can just rest on top of there without throwing the hinge, if you will, out of whack and tilting the gate. Just makes it easier for me a lot simpler. So when I go to close it, drop that down, and then I loop over this strap, hook it there, and then I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this one-handed. Let's see. Anyway, I push down on this little button and pull at the same time on this strap and pull it over this direction, and that snugs it up, cinches it down, so that the goats can't just try and push and bully their way back out through the gate, because, you know, they're goats. And they're stubborn and persistent like that, as much as I love them. So this is the goat pen. Leave that back open for them. And right now, they're ranging out in our farmyard. So this is the condition of our farmyard currently. It is in a sad, sad, sad state. So we had a bunch of trees taken down on our property. You can see the goats ranging out over there, browsing on stuff. I've got the driveway area blocked off with some box springs that are, I tied them together to reinforce them. And so in the next couple of weeks, we're going to get as many people together as we can, and we're going to hit this back farmyard here and the front yard and get the logs and the branches and things cleaned up, and that way we can clear the way for actually building the barn for the goats and our other livestock, and just get things tidied and in their proper place. And so over by this sad mess over here, we have my sink platform and the processing shed, which I'm going to do in a separate video. And that was just built today, so I'm very excited about that.